But the Obiakpo local government chairman, Gift Nwolo, says his goal is to make the council area safe, smart, and orderly for everyone.
Our policies against street trading and our policy for people to do their businesses from 6 feet off the road, what you call the right of way. And then this ties to the broader policy of creating a saner and safer Obiakpo local government for that matter. And if you go around our local government, you find that places that are designated as markets, for example, the Choba market is empty. There's nobody inside the market trade. But on the roads along Choba, you see everywhere is a market.
Dr. Nwolo also says he is committed to promoting decency and discipline among residents and traders in the area. From Obiakpo, let's take a trip to Ikwere local government area, where the chairman, Charles Wobodo, has kicked off the Omagwa electrification project as part of his campaign promises to the people of the area. The first phase of the reconnection project will cover Omagwa, Ishubu, and Omawa communities with plans to install transformers, poles, insulators, and high-tension wires. Speaking at the flag off in Omagwa, Wobodo said the council is going ahead with the project despite its high cost to improve living conditions and boost economic activities in the area. He also assured that the electrification work will not stop his administration from carrying out other development projects that will benefit the people.
Before we decided to come here today, there has been a battle because the fund involved is too high. But because we have come to our people and asked what is their immediate needs, despite all the projects I am going to bring in this local governments, they have said electrification is a challenge. Be rest assured that in the next 3 weeks or 1 month, Omagwa should have light. We have made sure that everything that has to do with the light of Omagwa have been paid. But you know, you should expect, Chairman, I will not disappoint you.
Wobodo warned against vandalism and theft of materials, noting that similar acts had delayed the project in the past. He insisted that anyone caught tampering with the installations would face prosecution. At the event, the member representing Ikwere constituency in the River State House of Assembly, Prince Lim Chieche, praised the council chairman for taking on the project and promised his full support.
Upon his assumption of office, I joined him to the 13 political roles of Ikwere local governments, and in every community except Amo, Iguta, and part of Muonyili, all other communities in Ikwere local governments, during that interaction, their discussion was centered on reconnecting Ikwere people. And today, Honorable Charles Wobodo and his team have deemed it necessary to heed to the call of Ikwere local government people. And that is why I'm here to give him the necessary support.
Also speaking, the leader of the Ikwere Legislative Council, Samuel Oboni, said residents of Omagwa will give all necessary support to ensure the project is completed successfully.
We are happy here today to receive the chairman and his entourage. The people of Omagwa should also tell you, sir, that this project you decided to embark on, that they will give you their support 100%. Omagwa is behind you. The chiefs and elders, the youth, the women of Omagwa, they are very, very happy with you. They say I should tell you with this, you should start preparing for your second term.
Correspondent Mekwatoka reports that dignitaries at the event included former federal lawmaker Chidi Wihioka, APC Publicity Secretary in River State Chibike Ikenga, Council Secretary Godknows Amadi, and Chief of Staff Okachi Odu. We now move to Eche local government. Eche local government area chairman Chima Boniface Njoko has restated his administration's zero tolerance for land grabbing and warned those involved to desist or face the law. Njoko gave the warning when he led a delegation that included members of the Anti-Land Grabbing, Land Acquisition Management and Development Committee, traditional rulers, opinion leaders, and youth on a visit to the Obiakpo Local Government Council. The visit was to strengthen cooperation between both councils in tackling land disputes and ending land grabbing activities. During the meeting, Njoko stressed the need for peace and understanding along the boundaries shared by Eche, Obiakpo, and neighboring councils. He says land grabbers must vacate Eche and other affected areas, adding that his focus remains on promoting development and protecting the well-being of residents. The chairman of the Anti-Land Grabbing Committee, Emmanuel Bilo, praised Njoko and his Obiakpo counterpart, Dr. Gift Wallo, for their leadership and collaboration in tackling land-related crimes. Meanwhile, on Tuesday, the committee held its sitting at the Aceh Council Secretariat, where it received and reviewed several petitions from communities. It also pledged to handle all cases with transparency, fairness, and justice. According to a statement from the committee's spokesperson, Dr. Uche Ken Nduku, some of the petitions came from Umwekweshi community, Umuakoro community against Velux Estate and others. Chief Kemakolum Wonga against Eze Innocent and Ameji, as well as Umwana and Umwemeshi communities in Chokota Town, and Mr. Emeka Ebere against Mr. Friday Brown of Oboku Ososo. To the national scene we go now. President Bola Tinubu is calling on Nigerian media professionals to uphold truth, fairness, and professionalism in their work. Speaking at the 2025 All Nigerian Editors Conference in Abuja, the president says while criticism of the government is necessary, it should be informed and constructive, not negative or cynical. He praised the media for its role in defending democracy and promoting accountability, but warned that careless reporting could threaten national unity.
We seek legislative and executive assistance.
As editors and managers of the national information space, you shape narratives, you influence public understanding, you decide what becomes national focus and how our collective challenges are interpreted. The weight of that responsibility is extremely significant. It must be exercised with wisdom, fairness, and a strong sense of national duty.
Meanwhile, President of the Nigerian Guild of Editors, Eze Anaba, wants the federal government to support the media industry through tax reliefs, VAT exemptions, and digital innovation grants. He also wants affordable loans and tax incentives for advertisers to help sustain the sector. Anaba is further calling for an end to restrictive laws and greater protection of press freedom, insisting that democracy thrives with a strong press, but weakens when the media is stifled.
We seek legislative and executive assistance to help balance our business, to make our businesses viable with our public duty. The media today is distressed. Most newspapers, television houses cannot pay salaries. Not because they're not doing well, Your Excellency. It's because the components to perform their duty, the cost of producing them is prohibitive.
And now, at the National Assembly, the Senate is denying report of a plot to remove Senate President Godswill Akpabio. Senate Leader Obeyemi Bamidele describes the report as false and meant to create unnecessary tension. Speaking during Wednesday's plenary, Bamidele says there have been no discussions or plans to remove Akpabio, adding that the Senate remains united and focused on key national issues. His comment followed remarks by Senator Orji Uzokalo, who recently referred to past failed attempts to impeach the Senate President. While still at the Senate, lawmakers have approved President Bola Tinubu's request to borrow 1.15 trillion naira from the domestic debt market to cover the shortfall in the 2025 budget. The approval followed the adoption of a report by the Senate Committee on Local and Foreign Debt during Wednesday's plenary. According to the committee, the 2025 Appropriation Act provides for total spending of 59.99 trillion naira, an increase of 5.25 trillion naira from what was initially proposed, leaving a total deficit of 14.10 trillion naira. Of that amount, 12.95 trillion naira had already been approved for borrowing, leaving an unfunded balance of about 1.15 trillion naira. In a related development, the Senate also passed a motion to tighten oversight on how the borrowed funds are used. The motion, sponsored by Senator Abdul Ningi, directs the Committee on Appropriations to ensure the funds are spent strictly for their approved purposes during the 2025 fiscal year. Now we go on a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll give you reactions to the incident from 2 days ago involving FCT Minister Nyesom Wike and a soldier. Details in a bit.
Nigeria Info.
You're welcome back. Now, President Bola Tinubu says Nigerian soldiers deserve the support and encouragement of all citizens for the risk they take to protect the country's territorial integrity. Acknowledging challenges like terrorism and banditry, he urges Nigerians to inspire and motivate the armed forces in their fight. He stresses that soldiers put their lives on the line to defend the nation, making it everyone's responsibility to support them. His comment comes amid growing concerns over insecurity and recent warnings from U.S. President Donald Trump about threats to Christians in Nigeria. And now the Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badaru, says the federal government will continue to protect all military officers performing lawful duties. He made the statement during a briefing ahead of the 2026 Armed Forces Remembrance Day. Badaru says the welfare of military personnel remains a top priority under the Soldier First initiative. His comment follows Tuesday's clash between FCT Minister Nyesom Wike and some naval officers over a disputed plot of land in Abuja. The officers were reportedly acting on instructions from a former Chief of Naval naval staff. Earlier, the defense headquarters posted on X that it remains unshaken, unbent, unbroken. The post came after the confrontation between Wike and naval officer Lieutenant A.M. Yerima over the disputed property. In a related story, 2023 Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi says the clash between FCT Minister Nyesom Wike and a naval officer in Abuja reflects a deeper breakdown of institutional order in Nigeria. Obi describes the incident as a national embarrassment that highlights the erosion of discipline, due process, and respect for institutions. He questions why security agencies are often drawn into civilian disputes and why public officials act beyond their lawful boundaries. Obi says the episode should prompt honest national reflection on leadership, civility, and the rule of law. He adds that rebuilding Nigeria requires stronger institutions, humility in public service, and a renewed respect for due process. Similarly, former Aviation Minister Osita Shidoka has criticized FCT Minister Nyesom Wike over his recent confrontation with a military officer in Abuja. Chidoka said Wike's decision to personally enforce a directive at a disputed site was a major error, arguing that power in a democracy should be exercised through institutions, not personal action. He insists that ministers must act through due process and lawful channels rather than direct confrontation. Chidoka adds that the minister's behavior and that of his security aides were unprofessional and undermined the dignity of public office. He is urging Minister Wike to apologize to the officer, calling the incident a lesson in restraint, discipline, and respect for the rule of law. Well, away from the Wike and soldier drama, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, has filed an application at the Court of Appeal seeking to hold further proceedings in his terrorism trial at the Federal High Court in Abuja. Kanu wants the appeal court to stop delivery of judgment pending the outcome of his appeal. The application, filed under Section 36, subsection 1 of the Nigerian Constitution, comes ahead of a November 20th judgment date set by Justice James Omotosho. In politics, Bayelsa State Governor Doediri says he will not force his deputy, Senator Lawrence Erujabo, to join the All Progressives Congress. Speaking at a state executive council meeting in Yenagoa, Diri says he prefers dialogue to confrontation. He admits that it is challenging for them to be in different parties, but says the discussions have been positive. Diri also revealed that his deputy's court case to stop an alleged impeachment move has been withdrawn following their talks. And now today is World Kindness Day, celebrated every year on November 13, and in 2025 it falls today, Thursday. The day was established in 1998 by the World Kindness Movement to encourage goodwill, empathy, and mutual respect among people and nations. The theme for 2025 is "The simplest acts of kindness are by far more powerful than 1,000 heads bowing in prayer." Reminds us that even small, sincere gesture can make a big difference in creating a kinder world. We're going on another short commercial break. When we come back, we'll wrap up the news.
And now, we bring you news from around the world.
U.S. President Donald Trump has signed a short-term spending bill to reopen the government, ending the longest shutdown in U.S. history. The move comes hours after the House of Representatives approved the measure 222-209 on Wednesday night, and 2 days after the Senate narrowly passed the same bill. Speaking in the Oval Office, Trump said the government will now resume normal operations after the 43-day shutdown caused serious hardship for many Americans. During the shutdown, about 1.4 million federal employees were on unpaid leave, or working without pay, while government services, food aid, and air travel were significantly disrupted. Government operations are expected to resume in the coming days, with air travel disruptions likely to ease ahead of the Thanksgiving holiday, which had already been affected by FAA staffing shortages during the shutdown. Now we go straight to sports. Nigeria Super Eagles will later today take on Gabon in a 2026 World Cup playoff. The preparation for this evening's clash has been marred with protests from the Super Eagles players over bonuses. However, Captain William Truth Ekong says it has been resolved and the team is now focused on the crucial clash. The Nigeria-Gabon game comes up at 5 p.m. and the sports gang will be here to give you all the commentaries and analysis. That's the news, but before we go, here is a look at the headlines once again. We told you that the Rivers State Flood and Management Committee has delivered relief materials to Obiabo and Abuadwa local government area, with Port Harcourt City local government set to get it today. We also brought you several reactions on the face-off between FCT Minister Nyesom Wike and a soldier. Today is World Kindness Day, and we also reported that President Tinubu has called for balanced criticism of government policies. The news was edited by Ufoma Ibamono. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ifechukwu Muonyili. Many thanks for listening.